Before the party's disciplinary committee in Durban later today. Khoza was charged last month by the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal for ill discipline. They claim her conduct has brought the party into disrepute.
The ANC is choosing corruption over those who want to speak truth to power.
It's utterances like this that's got Dr. Makhosi Khoza into hot water, as well as sharing public platforms with the opposition. The ANC says it took action against her because she had taken things too far. They say she was given numerous opportunities to voice her concerns internally. Her appearance at a dialogue organized by Safe SA and the Katrada Foundation was apparently the final straw for the party.
That is why we said, now that you have reached this point, we are now throwing to you the constitution of the ANC, because we believe that there is law in the ANC. You can't just work like an unregulated pop star who does whatever she wants to do and everybody must dance to the tune of her music. Then we would have no party.
Khoza is accused of contravening Rule 25 of the party's constitution through her verbal statements and comments on social media.
She's using Section 25 of the ANC constitution, which guarantees freedom of expression, saying that I'm entitled to my opinion. If there are problems within the party, I have a right to voice those opinions.
Some of which are seen as a direct attack on the party. Her statements were also seen as insulting the provincial leadership of the ANC in KZN.
As we all know, the current KZN PEC is locked in a High Court case, regarding their leadership, regarding their legitimacy.
Dr. Khoza has always maintained she stands for the truth. But political analysts believe the ANC cannot allow further harm to its already fragile image.
She says she's not doing anything unusual. She's actually cited the alliance partners, the SACP, COSATU, Sanko. She even brought Praveen Gordon's name up. She says these guys are doing what I'm doing. I'm speaking up for the country.
If we go and do a witch hunt, we're going to open negative publicity on the ANC, which is the 80s and the witch hunt.
Khoza is reported to have raised concerns about her safety ahead of the disciplinary hearing, claiming she's received death threats since going public with the criticism of the party and its leaders.
All right, from on that story, let's cross live now to our reporter Ayanda Mhlongo, who's joining us in Durban, where the hearing is expected to take place. Ayanda, a very good morning to you. I mean, this hearing has finally come amid death threats and everything. And of course, we heard that party MP Dr. Makhosi Khoza was even seeking for this to be moved to another province because of the fears of her safety should she come to this meeting. Is she there? Has the disciplinary hearing commenced this morning?
Alicia, very good morning to you. Yeah, we're coming outside the Dr. Pixley Gasem House, which is the headquarters of the ANC here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Just to go straight to your question, Dr. Makhosi Khoza has not arrived. We've been here since 7 o'clock this morning, and the only people who have arrived, and they started arriving here, were the members of the disciplinary committee. Just before 9, we saw Mr. Ravi Pillay. He'll be leading evidence today with alongside Makhosi Khoza. We've also then seen the chairperson of the disciplinary committee, Nomagugu Smelane Zulu. She has also arrived, as well as other members of the ANC's disciplinary committee. We are still awaiting to hear or to see Dr. Khoza arriving. There is uncertainty, Alicia. There's reports that she has said she was unable to make it on time. She has been speaking, we understand, to some members of the media, and she has said last night that she was not able to get a flight and they would not be able to make it at 9 o'clock. There are also reports that she has said, or is reported to have said, that she understood that the timing of the DC has changed to 3 o'clock, and the ANC has said that no, that was not true. In fact, yesterday there was going to be a pre-trial hearing that was going to take place at 3 o'clock, and that she knew when she received the letter, the notice of intent to hold this disciplinary hearing, that it did state that the disciplinary would be taking place on the 10th of September at 9 o'clock. But as I said, as of now, we have been here. We are still awaiting her arrival. We are not too sure. I cannot confirm whether or not she is going to arrive at this point. But her representative, Smanga Sithen, he has arrived. We did try to get a word from him on where Dr. Makhosi Khoza was, and he just went into the ANC offices, offering us a very little, except to confirm that he was here representing her. But I'm now joined by the spokesperson for the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, Mdumseni. Good morning, and thank you very much for your time. We've been parked out here waiting to see Dr. Makhosi Khoza. I know that you've been inside. Has she arrived at all, and what do you know about her coming? We were hearing reports that she said the time had changed to 3 o'clock. What do you know about this?
Well, thanks. Good morning, Ayanda. I can confirm with certainty that Comrade Makhosi has not yet arrived. The legal team, as you indicated earlier on, has joined our team inside the building, and I believe that the proceedings are going to start. But the issue about the confusion about time is merely something that was created by Comrade Makhosi. The reason why there was ever anything about 3 o'clock, particularly for yesterday, was because the ANC had wanted to afford her and her team an opportunity to talk to them in what is called a pre-trial session, which was going to be preparing for today's hearing. The hearing has always been at 9 o'clock, it has never changed, and even yesterday the team of the ANC reaffirmed its message to her that the time has never been changed and would expect her to comply with that time. I hope that the legal team that has arrived will explain whether she's coming or she's not coming. But her presence and otherwise, it does not necessarily impact on the starting of the hearing. The hearing can start without her, even without her representatives, when she is aware that the case is scheduled for 9 o'clock this morning.
So you're talking about a pre-trial and that it did not take place yesterday. Is it likely then, now that her legal representative or her representative is here, is that supposed to be, will it sort of before the main hearing start? Is that something, or just take us through the processes that are going to unfold here?
Well, the time of the pre-trial was set for yesterday. Today is the actual day of the hearing, because as you could have seen in the morning, the Provincial Disciplinary Committee members arrived, who were otherwise not going to be part of the pre-trial. So pre-trial was going to be between the representatives of Comrade Makhosi as well as the prosecution team, the presenters. Now that there is a full team of the ANC PDC, what is expected to start now, which I think have started already, is the beginning of the hearing. And depending on what her representatives are going to be coming to present, the case should proceed as planned, and it should end sometimes later this afternoon. Unless if the representatives are coming to say, no, we want to propose something else other than what was known and had been agreed upon a long time ago.
We understand she did also speak about her safety. In fact, even writing to the Secretary General or the Provincial Secretary requesting that the venue be moved to another province. And it's something that we understand was rejected by the ANC.
Well, that's correct. The determination to change the venue has to be made by either the Secretary General or the Provincial Secretary. Both of them respectively responded to Comrade Makhosi and advised her that her justification for the change of the venue were without substance, and that was declined, and she was advised that she has to comply with the invitation of the ANC Disciplinary Committee to come to the provincial office. I'm sure that you and others and the viewers at home can see that there is no threat here. There are police present, and all of us are around here. And as we said yesterday, KZN is not in the war zone. It's not like she would have landed where there are hand grenades and bombs going up and down. No, we're not in the war zone. It's unfortunate that we are facing the scourge of killing of our comrade, but it doesn't mean that you can't even go to an ANC meeting in the provincial office because your life is in danger.
Dumzani, just take us back what brought us here. You've charged her for bringing the party into disrepute, and this is because of the public statements that she was making, her calls for President Jacob Zuma to step down, amongst many other things that you allege that she has said to discredit the party.
Well, you will recall that a few months ago, the ANC leadership, both at our province and the national, engaged with Comrade Makhosi to advise her, to dissuade her, in fact, from what appeared to be a very offensive attack, not only to the president of the ANC and the sitting head of state, but to the ANC as an organization. She cast a lot of aspersions on the integrity, the credibility of the ANC, the capacity of the ANC to lead our people into the future. And because of that, the ANC came to the conclusion that nobody should be allowed, without being challenged, to drag the ANC's reputation and name into disrepute. And therefore it was on those bases that the decision was made that this comrade must now be brought before the Provincial Disciplinary Committee of the ANC in order to answer for the allegation that she has been made in public.
Dr. Makhosi Khoza hit back after learning that she was going to be indeed charged, saying and questioning the legitimacy of the current PSC and the current leaders who have taken this decision to act against her.
Well, you see, Comrade Makhosi seems to have a very serious obsession with negativity. She has to deal with the real issue. The real issue is that she has acted in ways that are bringing the party into disrepute. Bringing on board whether or not the legitimacy of the PEC is not a real question. That matter is before the court of law, and whatever the court decides is what will be have to be determined later on whether there is a case about her own allegation. From where we stand, the Provincial Executive Committee is legitimate. It was elected in the properly constituted conference of the ANC. The fact that she has her own imagination about the credibility of that conference does not necessarily translate in that being the reality. That is her own imagination which she has, and I think we can only assure her that it's not always the case that what is going on in her mind is an objective reality on the ground.
And before I let you go, if she doesn't turn up here today, how will you view this as the ANC?
Well, we would obviously, if there are justifications presented by her legal team as to why she couldn't make it to the hearing, I think we'll accept the explanation provided there. We believe that she has no basis to snap the process, unless if we are told by her or by her team that she deliberately decided not to turn up. But in our view, we would always perceive her absence, her inability to come, as probably due to circumstances that were beyond her control, unless if she states otherwise, because she's probably going to be updating in social network anytime from now and explaining the real reasons why she's not in the ANC provincial office. But for now, our view is that she might have been constrained by objective circumstances unless she says otherwise.
Nduli, thank you very much for your time. The spokesperson for the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Nduli, as he said, confirming to us there, Alicia, that indeed Dr. Makhosi Khoza has not arrived. We are going to be out here throughout the day following what is going to be happening, and Dumseni is going to be giving us a regular updates on the proceedings inside Dr. Pixley Gaseme House, the headquarters of the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
Ayanda, before I let you go, if Dumseni was there, I would have appreciated to know what really is at stake here. I hear him talking about the fact that the party's integrity and credibility was brought into serious question by Dr. Makhosi Khoza. So what could be the likely outcome? What kind of resolution can we expect here? Are they going to particularly maybe even kick her out of the party for these allegations, Ayanda?
Well, Alicia, that's too early to tell on what is likely to be the outcome of this hearing today. The ANC saying that, of course, its reputation is at stake and that it cannot afford its own members going out and discrediting the party, speaking ill of the party. You'll remember, Alicia, that they said even during the party's national policy conference that was held in June, July earlier this year, that Dr. Makhosi Khoza had had an opportunity to express her concerns, whether with President Jacob Zuma, about President Jacob Zuma, or about the leaders of the ANC, or the direction in which she feels that the ANC may be going off track, that was an opportunity for her to discuss her concerns internally. They have said, as the ANC, that matters of the ANC need to be discussed internally, and that one cannot be seen to be going out and speaking about the ANC, lambasting the ANC in public. And of course, for the ANC, and what they said is that their final straw was when she attended that dialogue organized by the Kathrada Foundation and Save SA, where they viewed it as her speaking on an opposition platform. And this was something that the ANC said they cannot allow. They also said that should they not take any form of action against her, it would somewhat set a precedence, and that they will not then be able to deal with any other member of the ANC who will be going out and contravening Rule 25 of the ANC, which speaks to the discipline of its members. But we are here throughout the day, Alicia. We don't know whether or not the outcome will be announced today, but we will be giving you all the latest updates. And it is a question that we will possibly pose to the chairperson of the disciplinary committee, Makhosi Zulu, on when we can expect an outcome.
All right, and very quickly, Ayanda, before I let you go, I can see behind you there it's still very quiet, and of course this hearing should have already started at 9 o'clock. Are you getting any sense of people coming in support of Dr. Makhosi Khoza, or people coming out against her for that matter today?
Alicia, we've been here since 7 o'clock this morning. It is still pretty much, a lot more cars than what it was when we first arrived here. The ANC did say yesterday that it had requested its members who may be here in protest against Dr. Makhosi Khoza, or people who would then be here to support her, requesting that they do not come here today. They wanted it to be a peaceful and just for the DC to sit quietly without any disruptions that possibly could take place outside, even then forcing maybe postponement of this disciplinary hearing. But you can see that the police are out here. They've been here since the morning. The police are out in their numbers. The road as well, just outside, a couple of the lanes here have also been closed off. So there is a heavy police present, anticipating the arrival of possibly people who might come out, whether in support or those who might say that they're here against her. But at the moment, we have not seen anyone here. Seemingly that the ANC has spoken to its members and has requested that Dr. Khoza also speak to her supporters, and it seems possibly that they've heeded that call.
All right, and Ayanda, just a quick one. There was issues with Dr. Makhosi Khoza, of course, wanting some sort of security and protection because of the death threats. Do you know at this stage if she has got, of course, a security team that is, of course, going to make sure that she comes to this hearing and leaves without anything being done to her?
Alicia, we've been trying to get in touch with Dr. Khoza over the past couple of days in preparation, of course, for her arrival here today. But no, we have not been able to get her, just to find out from her side whether or not she has indeed decided to have her own security. She did say, as you know, and it was widely reported on, that she was receiving death threats. She also did say ahead of this particular hearing, when she requested that it be held in another province, saying that she feared for her life, considering and raising some of the other attacks that have taken place on ANC leaders in the province. She is said to have quoted even the attack on the now late Cindy Somagaga, that he was killed after attending a community meeting. We'll also know that just yesterday the ANC laid to rest Kwazi Mkize, another councillor who was also killed after attending a community meeting meeting. So those are some of the reasons that she put forward, saying that she was not safe in a province that has seen an onslaught of its leaders, and considering the fact, as I've said, that she feels very threatened, particularly here in this province. But the ANC has its security here, and as I said, we've also got a very high police presence, and they've said to us that they will ensure that this is a safe place, it's a safe house, it has all the adequate and necessary security, and that there shouldn't be any problem. As of course, it is very quiet outside here. There aren't any people protesting who might then cause any harm to her. So in terms of security, it seems that there is sufficient security here.
That we'll all look to you, of course, for the beginning of those proceedings out in Durban. That's our reporter right on the scene there in Durban, Ayanda Mhlongo, as we await, of course, Dr. Makhosi Khoza to arrive in the hall there at the official ANC headquarters in KwaZulu-Natal to, of course, go ahead with the disciplinary hearing. We'll definitely keep you up to date. It was supposed to have started at 9 o'clock, but as we've heard also from the spokesperson, Mdumiseni Ntuli, they're saying that, of course, it seems like she's running late, and the times were properly and effectively communicated with her that the venue and the times would still be the same. So he says at this stage it's just her legal representatives that have arrived at the Pixley Kaqeme Hall out in Durban. Let's look at other news now.